Democracy lives in light. The Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. We have Ben Bergquam on. I want to play the promo for AmFest. So, guys, do you have that clip? And if you do, just go ahead and play it. Do we not have that clip? Well, while they find it, I just want to say that we had the largest student action summit in the history of Turning Point USA, and it's gonna be hard to beat last year AmFest. That was 21,000 people with President Trump. But let's go ahead and roll 54, a promo for this year's AmFest in December, Phoenix, Arizona. You're going to want to be there. 54.
America Fest is the starting point for us to take America to greater heights in 2025. We have a team that is ready to change the world and bring America back to greatness.
Experience the greatest celebration of America. 4 days, thousands of patriots, the loudest voices, the strongest leaders, featuring Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld, Grant Cardone, Rob Schneider, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Glenn Beck, Riley Gaines, Todd Chrisley, Savannah Chrisley, and more. December 18th to 21st in Phoenix, Arizona. The movement meets here. You won't want to miss this. Register now at amfest.com.
That's amfest.com. Get your tickets today. We already have record. I will say this. Last year ended up being our record year, 21,000. It was huge. And it's so exciting. It's such a good time. And by the way, students, tons of students all over, and we take really good care of them too. So if you're a parent with students and you want to go there, it is safe. We have chaperones, and trust me, we take really, really good care of the students. That's what we're really good at. But it's for all ages. Anybody can have a good time there. We want the Real America's Voice community there, the War Room Posse, Charlie Kirk Show audience. Everybody needs to be there in December. More when we get right back. All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. Andrew Kolvet. I'm your host for Hour 1. Charlie's going to be speaking with Secretary Noem in Hour 2, and Tyler Boyer from the C4, Turning Point Action. Give you an update on where we stand for the midterms and beyond, and what we're going to be doing about that at Turning Point Action. I am joined by Ben Bergquam, the great Ben Bergquam, who is doing phenomenal work telling the story of our brave men and women that are repelling the invasion, that are undoing the wrongs. Really, it just feels like, there's this kind of meme on the internet, Ben, where we talk about nature is healing, country is healing. You can just feel it. Yeah. You can just feel it, that we are getting a lot of bad dudes out of this country that have been running drugs, running guns. They've been trafficking people, hurting our kids, fentanyl. Yep. But we are I want people to appreciate how miraculous it is that we find ourselves at this point where we are finally reversing something this disastrous and negative. We're going to have a net flow out of our country of foreigners for the first time in my lifetime. Ben Bergquam, tell us more.
Yeah, great point. By the way, before I mention that, Law and Border, the impetus of our show Law and Border 4 years ago actually came from AmFest, Turning Point AmFest out of Phoenix, Arizona. So if you want to have some inspiration, some epiphanies for your life and the direction you want to go, I can't recommend AmFest more highly. That was actually the term I was thinking, what am I going to call my show? Border Law. And it was like Law and Border. There it is, AmFest. That's where it originated. We've launched since then.
That's great.
But you're right. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you that, Andrew. I was actually at our RAV booth, and we were talking to the law enforcement down there. I was actually there with Sheriff Lamb, and it all came together. Anyways, but 4 years. So I saw it. I saw the invasion, the 4 years of Joe Biden. I actually saw the first 4 years of President Trump. We've been doing this around 10 years. So President Trump securing the border after the disastrous Barack Obama. Then you had Joe Biden open the floodgates. And we were there for that entire thing every single day from the U.S. border. We were down in Mexico, Guatemala, down in Panama, did the Darien Gap 4 times, showing that just how disastrous it was. It wasn't accidental. This is the most important thing. This was not accidental. There was a global travel agency that started with the United Nations and worked through all of these NGOs, Catholic Charities, Lutheran Social Services, Jewish Family Services, 9 primary NGOs in the United States, hundreds of other subsidiaries down below them that were all feeding at the invasion trough. They were there encouraging and coaching illegals on how to come, and then profiting once they got here, moving them into our country. Now we're going the opposite direction, and we're sending them out. But the biggest threat still, Andrew, are those NGOs and the traders within our own government that allowed this to happen. Not only allowed it, but facilitated it, invited it.
Well, that's my question.
That's the biggest threat, and this is where Yeah. My question is, we all know it was on purpose. I mean, you have to try to do what they did. The question is, and just in a minute here, Ben, I don't want to make you be a philosopher here or something, but why? Yeah. Because a couple things. Some, I think, are naive. I think there are people that work under, volunteer for Catholic Charities that don't know what a demonic organization that's become. But I think really it's evil. I think you've got a contingent. I wouldn't even say I think. I know it's evil. It's good versus evil. This battle we're in is good versus evil. And there are people masquerading as good who are from the pits of hell. And there's a part of it, there is a contingent of the population in America who hate this country. There are communists, leftists, now jihadists that are all working together to undermine this country from within. They believe it's a terrible country, and they want to remake it in their either Sharia or communist vision for our nation. They don't want to fix the problems. They don't want to fix this country. They want to remake it. They want to destroy it. And the only way you do that is by destroying it first. And so there is a portion of our population. There are people in office today. You just go down the list. Veronica Escobar out of El Paso, Texas. You look at Adam Schiff. You look at what they did to President Trump, Russia collusion. It's all the same people. The people that want to undermine this nation, want to destroy it. And it's funny because they talk about democracy when it's really, they're the ones that want to get a dictator. They talk about no more kings when it's really, they're the ones that are pushing for communism, socialism, and the destruction of actual choice in America. That's ultimately it. But it's one of those two things. It's either naive or evil. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right, Ben. And it's really, it's incredible to me to watch just how wrong the other side could be about mental illness, trans issue, immigration, crime, absolutely, the economy. You have to try and be this dumb. And I do think that's why we're seeing a resurgence in voter registration for conservatives over Democrats, and a bunch of other things. I mean, they're just abysmal. The great Ben Bergquam, law and border on Real America's Voice, and national correspondent for them. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate it. We got Charlie Kirk coming up next hour with Secretary Kristi Noem. Don't miss it.